Listen, I know why you're here. You've seen the title of this video and you've clicked on it for one reason only. It's okay, this is a safe space, we can be honest. You've clicked and you haven't even started watching me, you've scrolled down. There it is, the comment section right in front of you. What are you doing right now as we speak? Limbering up a little bit, flexing, getting ready to do what you came here for. And here we go. MrRoflWaffles, you fell off and your opinions have sucked since the beginning of Cold War Zombies. New line. The fact that you could possibly say that the operator system might be a good thing for this game is absolutely outrageous and you're going to be crucified on Reddit. New line. In fact, Reddit's too good for you, you don't even deserve to be on iFunny, mate. New line. Bad takes, didn't even collect the intel, no integrity, ratio, period, post. I just know it. I know it. I know that's how you are. And that's okay, because I think I would be too if I hadn't realized this one little wrinkle that actually means maybe what I'm about to say in this video is valid. Hear me out, right? Post your hate comments. Actually, it'll be really funny if you all just do it anyway, okay? Troll me down there. Just absolutely get filthy. That sounded funny. But when you've typed it out and you've hit send, just give me a second of your time, okay? To get everyone on the same page, obviously in this past year of Cold War Zombies content, we've had an operator system. What that means is we don't have a crew that returns on all of the maps. We don't have a set crew. So there's no Richmond, Dempsey, Takeo, Nikolai. There's no Bruno, Scarlett, Diego, and Short. None of that. That's gone. Instead, it's whoever you want to pick, except the selection that you can pick from is just multiplayer characters, basically. But then also it's characters like Soap for some reason, and it's Samantha Maxis, because she's an operator now too. Or it's the guy from Die Hard, or a bunch of other people. And these characters aren't all there because they're all canonically part of Requiem. They're all there because they're in the Battle Pass. And Treyarch, or more likely Activision, wants to have a system set up this year where people that earn a load of stuff in the Battle Pass and spend a load of COD points and all of that stuff can use those operators in the Zombies mode as well and feel like they're getting more bang for their buck, rather than feeling like it's split and it's compartmentalized. And if you're a big Zombies player, you don't necessarily cross over your cosmetics and your in-game purchases to the MP and vice versa. They're really trying to promote the idea that if you sink money into the game, it can be used across the entirety of the game. It's a theme that they've been going for a long time now, but this year is one of the first that they've really doubled down on it, and it's meant that we don't have a set crew, which everyone hates. 99% of people think that it impacts the story. It kind of creates detachment because you don't feel like your character's really experiencing things in the way that we did in the past. You don't feel like you're really growing with your character. You don't really empathize with your character. There's a real disconnect there. And there are also moments of dissonance, like you'll see your character in a cutscene and they're just a joke. Like it completely breaks the cutscene because the cutscene's really serious and you're like wearing a Christmas hat, or you're like Samantha in a bride outfit. Like what the hell? There's also issues where you'll have Samantha talking to you over an intercom, but you're playing as Samantha, and then you'll jump into a cutscene, and in the cutscene, a character like Ravenov will say, "Where is Samantha?" You're standing right in front of him, and she's on the intercom as well.
Requiem. Where is Maxis?
I'm here, still being held by Requiem. They don't want me in the field.
So the whole thing's just a total mess, and like I said, creates dissonance and disconnect with the player. So now that you're caught up, how could I be saying that in this new year of Zombies content coming in Call of Duty Vanguard, we're going to be getting a good operator system? How could that be beneficial? How? And that's why the hate comments are deserved and why I want a moment of your time. In Vanguard, it's an operator system again. We can't escape that fact. It's just the way things are going to be. And I personally don't really think there's ever going to be a situation in the future where we go back to having a set crew, because it just interrupts Activision's current business model. And if that model changes, then maybe. But while they're doing things the way they are, free to play, game as a service, all of that stuff, it's unlikely. So the operator system is there. It's going to feature your multiplayer characters. So there's going to be Axis, there's going to be Allies, there's going to be all of the DLC characters they introduced through the season. They'll all be playable in the Zombies mode. And I agree with you, it doesn't make sense. It actually doesn't make sense. You're going to have random characters like celebrities or whatever, like Bruce Willis, they're going to introduce as DLCs, and then they'll be playable in Zombies. It's just weird, right? But the beauty of it this year is that it doesn't actually matter. Who you're playing as no longer matters, because the story is not being told through those characters. You see, in the past, when we've been playing as Primus, when we've been playing as those characters, they've told us about themselves. They've said what they're scared of. They've said what they're excited about. They've said what they're trying to do and what they might be hiding. These moments have bonded us as players with them as characters, with them as individuals within the greater universe that we are experiencing through their eyes. And so all of that kind of disconnect and detachment that I mentioned is because of the fact that I no longer care whose eyes I'm looking through. It could be Soap McTavish's eyes, it could be Samantha's eyes, it could be some random operator like Song's eyes. But that particular person, I actually don't care about. They could die, they could get shot in the head, wouldn't care. Genuinely would not care at all. And so contrasted to playing as Primus, if Richtofen gets shot in the head in front of me, or while I'm playing as him, I'm gonna be devastated. And if we see Richtofen left in that crazy chair at the end of Blood of the Dead, like, maybe I'm gonna shed a few tears. Because it's the character who I care about, and playing as him and experiencing the world through his eyes is how the story was designed to be told. The great error that I think Treyarch made is that in Cold War, the story was still designed in that old framework in many ways. It hadn't actually successfully detached itself from it being important that you were playing through your own eyes as whatever character you were playing as. But this year, like I've said, it's changed. So we're going to jump in day one, right? As generic operator Joe Bloggs. Instantly, I'm going to be like, man, I wish Joe Bloggs would talk more. I wish that he'd comment on the world. I wish that he wouldn't just have generic audio about throwing Semtex or whatever he's saying. And that sadness is going to be there, that the operator system is leaving a gap unfilled. But then my chosen Elder God symbiote of choice is going to start talking to me. And this is the beauty of what they've done with the system this year. Those Elder Gods each correspond to the field upgrade that you pick before you start your game. So you pick Frostblast, that's going to align you with Nauticus. Energy Mine is aligned with Syraxis. Ether Shroud is associated with Belikar, and Ring of Fire is with Invicta. Now that's 4. There is one more god who has an artifact, right? And that's Cortifex. But certainly at launch, Cortifex is not going to be a god that we're going to be able to align with because he's already linked to Wolfram von List, who's the main baddie kind of in this game. His kind of special powers that he can raise the undead, so that's like his field upgrade, and so it makes sense that the player's not using that. But you're probably still wondering, how does this solve the problem of me not caring about the operator? Well, let's say you pick Ring of Fire, and so you're aligned with Invicta. In the game, Invicta is not just gonna say,
throwing Semtex,
in some kind of godly voice. Instead, Invicta is going to be able to comment on the world around you in ways that the operators simply cannot. Think about it, from a game dev point of view, right? They cannot get Bruce Willis to come in 6 months after he's added to the game and record some new audio for a new upcoming zombies map. It's not feasible in terms of game dev. But if there happen to be 4 gods that are going to stick around for the entire year and you're going to be able to swap between them as you see fit, and they've also got super modulated and enhanced voices, so you can't even hear the voice of the person underneath, so you don't even need it to be a celebrity, it just needs to be someone that Treyarch has easy access to. That's going to mean that they can add new audio to those characters all year long. They can make use of that person's talents for the entire year and add them into whatever they need to. There's no longer a restriction of, oh, there's a new map coming, that means we need to get 50 different voice actors in to each record 500 new lines for every single new map or new mode or new update or whatever. When you bring that down and it's just 4 people that could be anyone, suddenly it opens the door for Treyarch to do a lot more than they can within the regular operator system. And you might be thinking, well, I still don't care about my character, so why does this matter? The point is that your identity, the player's identity, is now built on 2 separate foundations. One is the meat space flesh, which is just the operator that you pick, and the other is just this god based in the Dark Ether. So if you want to show off those things that you have paid for or things that you might have earned in the battle pass, then you can still do that with your meat space character. Cutscenes, not a problem. You'll still be able to flex on your friends via anything that's rendered in game, and Activision will still be happy because they'll still be seeing those battle pass skins, etc. that people have bought in use in zombies having the impact they were supposed to have. But what if story's more your cup of tea? You want flavor to better understand the world around you and to comment on things that you see to ground you as a player and make you feel like you're connected to whoever you're playing as? The god is going to serve that purpose for us now. Think about the things that Richtofen might have said to you in, I don't know, like Horizon, when you're going through Max's little house bit and he's talking to you about the fact that he was there. Think about that inter-character banter when you're playing with multiple people in your lobby and Richtofen says, oh, I hate you, Dempsey, and Dempsey pipes up and goes, whatever, Doc. And they're playing with each other, they're playing around, they're having fun. Those dynamics that we've been missing desperately for so long in this really stale feeling operator system in Cold War, that is all gonna dissipate because suddenly these gods that we're gonna be getting a whole load of exposition about, a whole load of story about, a whole load of info about, are gonna be talking to each other. They're gonna be saying stuff like, hey, Syraxis, you suck, bro. And Syraxis is gonna be like,
is that so, Nauticus? Really? Like, you're the one that used to lead Cortifex's armies, and now look what he's doing. What sort of mess have you guys into?
That's interpersonal relationships with the gods. With gods, I mean, gods are just cool, dude. They're literal elder gods. They are old ones. They are of time immemorial. They've been in the Dark Ether for centuries, before the Forsaken was there, before we even knew there was a Dark Ether in this world. Like, what I just said about Nauticus is true. He actually used to lead Cortifex's armies, and Cortifex used to be a lord of the Dark Ether. What does that mean? We're gonna find out this year, and these gods are gonna tell us. You didn't get Samantha Maxis as an operator telling us about anything. She just says, I love to shoot stuff. That's essentially the depth of her lines as an operator. Because that's what all the operators do. They don't have color commentary. They don't have emotion. They just have throwing Semtex. That's it. So believe me, I hate the operator system just as much as Tom, Dick, and Harry, but I have to call out a good thing when I see it. I just do think this is actually a good-looking system. Now, I say good-looking. Why is that? Well, obviously, the game isn't out yet, so there is a chance that I have the rug pulled from under me, and this system isn't utilized in half the ways that I hope it to be. The gods aren't talking to each other. They don't really say anything about the world. They don't comment on things around you. They purely exist to say the line, yep, you guessed it, the one and only, everyone get ready, yep, throwing Semtex. If that's all they say, system sucks. Operator system sucks. All of it sucks. Treyarch, bad job. But if they are doing what I think they are doing here, and they are letting the gods shine as the characters this year, and we can swap between them so we can pick a different character, and we can go to the next map, and those gods will have experienced the past map. They'll be able to comment on those past experiences. They'll be present in the new one in ways that operators never could or can. If they do those things, I will be smitten. And I will probably be making a billion more zombies videos about the storyline this year. The opportunity here for there to be conversation again, something that I've missed so dearly, is so great and makes me so excited. And so Treyarch, if you're watching this and you haven't done this, I'm sorry, but you got some crunch ahead of you because you need to get this into the game before it comes out. You really need to. So if you made it this far, thank you for giving me a moment of your time. And let's all together form a prayer circle here and cross our fingers and toes that this is actually going to be implemented. Let's at least give it an opportunity to still be fun. If it sucks when it comes out, fair. I'll talk about it. We can talk about how they can make it better. We'll brainstorm. We'll try and get some constructive feedback. But I'm just trying here not to judge it before I've counted my chickens. That's not the expression, but you know what I mean. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.